Oh, all right, guys, what is up? And welcome back to the Bear Review. A little bit of different format here today, guys. I decided to go live. I figured this would be a best of subject as ever. I wanted to bring in a few different minds to kind of go over the Chicago Bears left tackle decision as we move through training camp. Who are those three guys, you ask? Well, I got three of my good friends here. I got G Walker from the CNG Podcast, my friend Terry, the Dr. Spain from over at Monsters of the Gridiron, and King Kumar, who seems to be there. He is.
Yeah.
What's going on, guys? Why don't you introduce yourself to the gang?
Are we going from left to right, or how are we doing it?
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead,
What's
start
going
with
on,
you.
everybody, man? I'm G Walker, the CNG Podcast. I'm 1/3 of the CNG Podcast. On the G and CNG Podcast. We're Bears platform content creator, podcaster, and you can find us on Twitter. You can find us on Facebook. You can find us on YouTube. That's me, G Walker, CJ and Allen, CNG Podcast, Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube or X.
What's going on, good people? I'm Terry Spain with Sports First Media. I cover a lot of sports. I cover Chicago Bears as well, and I'm excited about this podcast. I'm excited about the new NFL season. And you can follow me at Terry Spain 21 or at Sports First Media.
My name is Advait Kumar. I run my own YouTube channel by the same name, Advait Kumar. I'm mostly a Chicago Bears channel, and how my content is kind of different from everyone else. I kind of do more video essays, and kind of dive into a little bit more in depth and talk about player story, topics about the Bears. All that good stuff. Yeah.
All right, cool. Well, first off, guys, I want to thank you all for joining me tonight. You know, you're doing me a great honor and a service by doing this, so thank you.
No problem. Glad to be here.
First off, guys, Terry, why don't we start with you? What do you think about this whole left tackle battle, just in general, right now?
So, quite honestly, I'm excited because for the first time, we're actually having an opportunity to talk about a battle with the left tackle. As we all know, left tackle is the blind side. So whoever is our left tackle and who comes out and beat everybody, that just let us know that coach, our coach, feels the most confident in that person. It's a good thing to have. It's not a bad thing to have when you have left tackle competition, because in the event, barring any injuries, you definitely have that other person that can fill right in. And then that next person, if another injury happens. So I'm excited about it. It's an intense battle. You got a second-year player that's trying to solidify his role. You got a rookie that's trying to solidify his role. And then you got a third-year starter that's trying to solidify his role and come back from the injuries that he has. So this is an exciting time, not only for left tackles, but it's an exciting time to be a Chicago Bear.
Awesome. All right, Kumar, tell me what you think, buddy.
Yeah, I mean, for me, I'll agree with what Terry said. I think the left tackle position is one of the most, if not the most important position on the offensive line.
Mm-hmm.
And as Ben Johnson said, or even Dennis Allen said, that every position on the Chicago Bears is a competition, except for like maybe quarterback, wide receiver, all that good stuff. So to have, your best guy come forward and start is kind of what you want. And if you look past in years past, that position has always, and even the offensive line has always been something of a struggle. So the fact that we can kind of find the best man going forward is kind of what you want, and change of the past.
Perfect. All right, guy, let us hear it. Oh, you muted my guy.
The left tackle position, like you all guys have said, is probably the most position on the team besides the quarterback. And it has to be symbiotic. You know what I mean? They have to be locked in and lockstep. You know what I mean, with the quarterback, and the left tackle. So the fact that we got, three guys that's looking to get paid, who was in Braxton Jones, coming off an injury. He's in the contract year. They talked about that. Then you got Kiran, the second-year guy who didn't get much training under the old regime with Chris Morgan, and he's even hurt right now. So you got Ozzy Trapilo, the baby polar bear, which is I call him, leading in the clubhouse right now. 6'8", 300 and some pounds. He's 7 feet in cleats. So it's a good thing to have this type of depth, but we have to find out soon who is it going to be, because we got a preseason game this Sunday coming up. So it's going to have to be announced quickly. And that person, to me, who's leading that charge right now to be the left tackle, not only preseason but during the season, is Ozzy Trapilo.
Exactly. Yeah. So if you just joined us now and you don't know who's in the middle of this left tackle battle, let's throw it up here. We got the incumbent Braxton Jones, 5th-round pick, Ozzy Trapilo, the early favorite, and then of course the forgotten hero Kiran Amegadjie, who I still think has a lot of promise. I don't know about you guys. But to
Yeah,
start, no, go ahead, Terry.
yeah, I think he does have a lot of promise, but like you said, he wasn't he was put in a predicament where it wasn't ideal for him as a rookie. So now he's being able to come in a full training camp, get more training, get more reps. So it's actually a good thing for him as well.
Yeah, and
Okay.
he's kind of starting behind because the guy that's whoever the healthiest and the most consistent is going to get all the reps at the starting position. And
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like you want the guy to be okay. Let's get him some reps and get him this, let's get him that. But who's the most healthiest? Who's the most prepared? And who's the most athletic to play that position? Because at the left tackle position, you have to be athletic. So he got all that to come up and try to beat against Ozzy Trapilo. So good luck to him. But this thing is smoking, man. Like they're getting ready to play Sunday, and it has to be whoever's the most ready and the most prepared.
You said the train is at the station, ready to take off, huh?
Yeah, it's time, man. Like we can give the sympathy, give him the sympathy all we want to, and he didn't like, bro. That's not how they really. To anybody listening, that's not how they really thinking. Like, yo, we gotta really get this thing going. Like, we know you need reps and chances, but we play Sunday, and whoever's the best person to block Kayla's blind side on Sunday will be the left tackle. So, but I agree with you.
Yeah.
He just didn't have the opportunity, but time is moving, and the season is about to start.
So, Terry, you basically touched on this a little bit at the very beginning, but this is a question to the group. It says, from your guys' perspective, what makes this specific left tackle competition unique compared to more other different position battles we've seen across, the last couple of years?
I think. Go ahead, Terry.
No,
Sorry.
go ahead, guy. Because it's
I
like
just
we've been
think
feeding off each other.
you're starting off with the guy that's pretty much in his second year as a quarterback, and you have a young left tackle that you can pretty much bring along with him to raise together and to bond together and get that chemistry going. Is just two guys, and the younger they are together, the better chances of them playing better together. So I think that makes it unique. I don't know the left tackles that were here with Justin Fields. It started out with him and Jay Cutler and all them other guys, but this particular situation right now, Caleb is in his second year and Ozzy Trapilo is in his rookie year, so we can have something special the next 6 to 10 years if them guys pan out together, playing side by side.
Yeah, I think like you mentioned, Guy, how wonderful that is for a Chicago Bear, right? You actually have two young guys. Well, all of them are relatively young. But it's all going to remain who's going to be on top, who's going to be that dog. And I think what's going to happen is in this game that we're going to have, this preseason game, all three players, if they're healthy, are going to get their chance to show what they can do. And they're going to play the entire game. Like there's going to be no drop off. Like you're in, you're out, you're in, you're out. So this is an audition. But check this out. It's not only an audition for the Bears. This may be an audition for the Bears to trade someone to get another player.
Good point. What do you think, Kumar?
Yeah, I mean, for me, I kind of agree with all three of you. I think kind of what makes this different than in years past is the level of the coaching staff that we really hadn't had before. With Matt Nagy, he kind of preferred that seniority. Like if you were a player and make it third, fourth, second year, you're probably going to get that seniority over like a rookie, right? With Flus, yeah, everyone was kind of a madhouse. It was kind of a circus. We really didn't know like what the best player going was moving forward. With this coaching staff, especially with Ben Johnson, Declan Doyle, I'm blanking on our offensive line coach.
It's Dan Rochar.
Yeah, the best guy is going to move forward, and you think you can have that confidence that he is going to start. And I think kind of what also makes this more unique than in years past is like every player has their own set of skill sets. Ozzy is pretty big. Brax has that veteran leadership. And then, Kiran has that he's able to move. He has that mobility that those other two guys don't really have. So I think, that's another part that makes it so unique, that each player possesses a different set of skill sets. Um, and it'll be really interesting to see like what player eventually ends up becoming the guy.
Exactly. And you made a good point about the coaching staff. So I want to pose this question to you. Now, given the importance of protecting Caleb Williams, how much pressure do you think is on the coaching staff to get this decision absolutely right this time?
Yeah, I think for me, uh, I think it's gonna break. It's either make or break, right? Because we've seen in years past, actually, even last year, right? Caleb had 68 sacks, 69 sacks, I believe. Um, and how that affected him, how that affected his growth going forward, how it affected his play. So I think that we absolutely have to nail this. And we have to find like the best guy to protect Caleb, to withstand those bull rushes, to withstand, you know, the little bit of competition that the NFC North has. Because I make an argument that it's probably one of the best in the league when it comes to those defensive ends and those linebackers that are going to go up against, whoever the left tackle is.
Well said. Now, a lot of you guys have talked about this when we were speaking on Braxton Jones, but we know Braxton Jones is the veteran of the group. Do you believe in this competition? Does that give him a distinct advantage in any way, shape, or form?
Nope.
No, it doesn't, because if it did, they wouldn't have drafted Ozzy. Quite honestly,
Exactly.
he needs to stay healthy, and he also needs to stay alert and stay alive, because quite honestly, he has two players on his heels, and he knows that. I mean, you can't tell me that Braxton doesn't know that he has two other players on his heel that's willing to come in and take his place in a moment's notice. So he's going to have to showcase and put on a lot of talents, because, like we say in the Navy, it's all systems go. Once you're ready to go, and we ready to go, there's no, well, hold on, let me think about it. No, when you're out there, you need to produce, and you need to produce today.
It's
That's
true.
right. That's right. Go Navy.
Beat Army.
Yeah, always beat Army. Yes, sir.
What do you think, Guy?
He doesn't have an advantage at all, man. I mean, you're coming in a situation where you weren't healthy. Your ankle pretty much got destroyed. You're in a contract year, so based off of those two things alone, like, what makes you think you have priority? Like, if he wasn't an elite left tackle before you got hurt, they're in their mind, they're not even considering about paying him. Like, why? And what Terry said, like, they drafted a guy that's pretty much your replacement. Like, that's how life works. Like, we're drafting people to replace people. We're drafting people to start the contract situation over if you're not that guy that we're going to pay. So he has a long road to be considered the starting left tackle. Now, if he get out there and he plays well, and I think he will, I think he actually might have a chance to stay on this team. Like, I don't think it's smart just to get rid of Braxton just because we got this potential in Ozzy Trapilo, who's never played a down as a left tackle in the NFL. I think you got to be really careful with that, with just getting rid of Braxton. You know what I mean? And just letting his rookie just get all these reps, and he's not necessarily ready. He hasn't played 40-something games. So if I'm Dan Rochar and I'm Ben Johnson, I'm saying, yeah, we want Ozzy to be probably the left tackle going forward, but we're going to need depth with Braxton Jones, the guy we could just plug in and keep him, so we can protect Caleb a lot more instead of just depending on the rookie right now. But an advantage, no, I don't think he has an advantage.
Okay.
He's going to get Ozzy's going to get a lot of reps in these preseason matchups, a lot, because they want to see what's going to happen. They want to see how he's going to withstand these bull rushes and this NFL competition.
Yep.
Yeah, Kumar, did you want to weigh in at all, man?
Yeah. I think honestly the only edge that Braxton has over Ozzy and over Kiran is the fact that he's seen it all, right? And last year he did start. When he was a rookie, I believe he did start. So he's seen it all, and he's kind of went up against different kinds of linebackers, different kinds of defensive ends. So he knows it all. But at the same time, I don't know how much that matters because, teams can easily say, hey, if we want to go up against Braxton, all we got to do is bring the bull rush. And, you know, he won't withstand it. And I think there was like a training camp video that I saw, and it was basically a bull rush concept. And it was like Ozzy and Brax, I believe, and when Ozzy was showing his power against that bull rush, being that bull rusher, I mean, Braxton couldn't withstand, and he kind of went back, and back, and it was kind of like funny. Like, have you ever watched The Blind Side? And he watched that one scene where the dude like pushes that dude in the stands. That's kind of exactly what we saw with Brax. So I think that the only edge that he has is that experience and the veteranship. I mean, he knows Caleb, he knows his mannerisms, but it kind of stops there because, I don't really know if he's going to be the best guy going forward. And someone like Kiran or Ozzy can easily learn that and do a better job.
Okay. Well, we're getting on his strengths this week. Does he do anything good in your eyes outside of the leadership component of things? And that's everywhere.
Okay.
Go ahead, Terry. You go ahead, Terry.
Yeah, I do see that he demands the huddle too, as far as like with that leadership. I've seen a couple times where Caleb got tackled or made a bonehead mistake or play, and I saw Braxton over there consoling him and things of that nature. So that's definitely needed. But he does run block pretty decent as well. It was just painful to see my young guy bulldoze him the whole time. But when Jared Verse was playing him, I was, but the thing about it is, I think there's an opportunity for you to get better. And when you have better coaches and when you have better surroundings, it makes you a better person. So we'll see what he has, because he's probably has gotten better. I'm almost willing to bet that he has. And so that becomes contagious. So not only you become better, your entire line becomes better. And I think for me, some of the things that I can see is that he's probably gotten better, over the coaching staff, because they probably showed him a different way in his stance or how to eliminate the bull rush and protect his quarterback better.
Yeah, and I agree with you. He got strength. They all got strength. Like his, he's a good zone run blocking guy. He got good athleticism. He's tall too. He got a good long reach. But his weaknesses are the ones that's going to kill you, which is pass protection. He got bad balance and he got bad footwork. So opposing teams know all of that. Like they scouted him already know what his real weaknesses are. So when it's time on the money down on 3rd and 7, when Caleb got to drop back and throw something, that bull rush is coming. You know what I mean? So, and then if Ozzy's performing, at a higher level with his balance and his footwork and everything that's negative about Braxton Jones, with the positives of Ozzy Trapilo, then he's going to end up being the starter. Like he doesn't have bad footwork. You know what I mean? He doesn't have bad balance. So if Ozzy is the positives are outweighing Braxton Jones' negatives, then it's clearly going to be Ozzy. Like I don't see Kiran, getting into this that much. Like he don't really have to show film, but it's going to be Ozzy, man. But I do like Braxton just because he's a good piece to have, just because of the depth piece. Like that's still important, man. Like I don't know if I really want to just say forget Braxton when he's really the one that's played a lot. He actually might play better with the interior offensive lineman that we have now with a Tunney and a Dahlman. You know what I mean? All those guys. So he might look even a little bit better. You know what I mean? But go ahead, Terry.
That definitely eliminates some pressure off of him. Quite honestly, I'm not gonna lie. And then we have a tight end that likes to block. We have the rookie that we love that we have. He likes to block. So in the event that he struggles on certain downs or whatever, you could throw that tight end in him and chip block or do whatever he needs to do to relieve some stress from him. So I think like you mentioned before, Guy, all those other players that are around him, they played at the highest level. We got a guy that played for the Kansas City Chiefs, Super Bowl. You know what I mean? So of course he's going to bring. Come on, man. They're going to tell you what they're accustomed to. They're going to show Braxton and all these other players that are on the line, even our right. He's a good right tackle, but he can stand to learn some more stuff too. So he's benefiting as well.
Yep.
Exactly. Now, we did bring up guys like Joe Thuney and Drew Dahlman, but with the presence of these veteran offensive linemen on the field now, what do you think their influence is going to be in terms of this left tackle decision and the development of these younger guys?
It's going to be execution. It's going to be discipline. You know what I mean? It's going to be, we're in the foxhole together. It's going to be unity. It's going to be calling each other out. It's going to be, we're all in this together. Like, they're going to hold each other accountable, man, because they come from programs where it's used to winning. When you're in a winning culture, you do things a little bit differently. You call a teammate out. You help a teammate. You don't let them just be on the ground. You help them out. So they're going to help those young guys by being big brothers to them, uncles and stuff like that, and showing them how to play the offensive line, you know what I mean, in the trenches, with it being in a good situation, in a good culture. So they're going to learn good technique, you know what I mean, the tricks and trades of, what's the word I'm looking for? Little tricks to get a defender off of you or engage and disengage and lock. So they're going to teach them things, the tricks of the trade that you probably want to get from a losing offensive tackle, left tackle, center. Like, you don't get those type of tricks, because in order to be great, you got to have some tricks up your sleeve to not only having the the basics down. You got to have a little bit more in your bag, you know what I mean, to really be great at stuff. So I'm pretty sure those offensive linemen are going to get those guys a couple more tools in their toolbox to be great.
Yeah, I mean, here's my thing with Braxton. He brings to the table a lot of leadership ability, and he's the old hand, right? But that doesn't necessarily mean you're the best man for the job. An interesting part was, for this video, was doing a little research on Braxton, found some of his old footage from the Senior Bowl, and you can actually see then where he was getting bull rushed every rep, and he was putting on skates all the way back in the quarterback. Nothing's changed.
Wasn't he a fifth-round draft pick anyway?
He was.
Yeah. So, and sometimes what you get picked is who you are, unfortunately. Like, you got picked in the 5th or 6th round because you were 5th or 6th round potential player. So here we are years later, and the Bears not being good at drafting offensive linemen, Ryan Poles, and we got a guy that we're talking about that's a 5th-round draft pick being a starting left tackle for Caleb Williams. You know what I mean? So it's a little bit of this is who we are and how we drafted, and it hasn't been ideal. You know what I mean? I don't know if you necessarily want a 5th-round guy protecting the blind side of Caleb Williams when his negatives are pass protection, balance and leverage, and footwork. Like, you cannot be a starting left tackle with those many things as a negative to be protecting the quarterback on his left side. That don't even make sense.
Yeah. I think you're spot on.
What's going on, Eric?
Good
to see you on. And J2K was in here a little earlier. I'm not sure if he's still in here now. I just want to say what's up, what's going on. Yeah, I mean, so I think we pretty much hit on Braxton. We got to move on to Kiran Amegadjie. I mean, the kid's got a lot of talent in terms of his athletic traits. He's got the long arms. He looks the part. What do you guys feel on this kid? Why don't we start with you, Terry?
You know what? He didn't get a fair shake last year. He was thrown in with the Wolves. When I went to that game, well, I went to that Chicago Bears game in London, and I had an opportunity to speak with his parents. They were sitting behind me.
Okay.
And he didn't get the fair shake. Well, let's just say that. I mean, he could have been developed more. Of course, when he got drafted, he said Caleb wouldn't get touched. All the stuff that you should say, you remember all that. And that's fine and well, but you got to put up or shut up, right? So I think if anybody has benefited from this particular camp or this particular new regime of coaches, it's him. He's the wild card. No one really knows. Like, he was, teeing the line last year, but no one really knows what he's going to be doing this year. And I'm telling you, I'm excited about the running backs that we have and the wide receivers, the competition. But I have to be honest with you, I'm more excited about this left tackle competition because this is going to say it all. And Karami has an opportunity, if healthy, to showcase what he can do.
Yeah, I mean, the big thing coming into camp for me was this was the quintessential battle of the year. Everything else didn't matter. This is going to make or break the team, honestly. But Kumar, why don't you give us your thoughts on Kiran real quick?
Yeah, can you hear me?
A little low, yeah.
A little.
Okay. But I think this might be the volume that you see me at. Sorry about that. So I'll try to speak as loud as I can. So for me with Kiran, I think that as Kerry said, he's kind of the wild card when it comes to the competition. Because I think that Kiran has that, he's an athlete that you want. He has the mobility. He's big. He has everything that you kind of want in a left tackle. That Ozzy and Braxton normally have. So I think that when it comes to that, yeah, he is kind of the best guy. It's just that when it did debut, it wasn't really the best. I mean, you can be athletic, you can have all these attributes, but if you can't put it on the field, um, you're going to struggle. That's kind of why we see players like Chase Claypool, Christian Watson, all these players that are so talented and have all the physical attributes, but they just can't put it together. So I'm curious to see, hey, if can he put this together, and if he can, you have a pretty interesting dilemma that you could do with like Ozzy. Like, can you move him somewhere else on the line? Can you move him to make maybe guard? I'm kind of curious to see what happens there. Um, and yeah, I think even Kiran has that ability to move to the guard. I think Kiran and Ozzy have it, and I don't think Brax has that. So yeah, that's some of my thoughts. I know I went on a tangent a little bit, but it's kind of a little bit of my spiel.
Okay, good. What do you think, Guy?
I just think he got a hell of a mountain to climb, man. Like, he's gonna have to depend on coaches. Like, he gonna have to know somebody on that staff to be like, hey, Kiran is, sometimes it just take somebody to talk you up, because sometimes when the main coaches got their minds made up of who they want to play in any sport, that's it. So he's living on by a prayer to me in a lot of ways. Like, yeah, like he can get out here and like perform and do things in preseason, but you already been hurt. He just got hurt. So that in their mind, he's already planting the seed of he's not healthy. So you have to climb the ladder of, okay, I'm healthy this week. Well, I'm healthy for 2 weeks. Okay, now it's week 2 in the season, and Ozzy's still starting. So it's kind of just, it's going to be hard, like for him to actually get the reps to get by Braxton, then to get by Ozzy Trapilo. So it's not like he's going to miraculously be that much better than Ozzy Trapilo or Braxton Jones. It's just, I just don't see it. Maybe he could put on a lot of tape, and like Kumar was saying, he can get moved around on the line somewhere else, and he can grow under Dan Roushard, and he can grow under Tunney. He could just grow. So that way, when Tunney gets old and he's about to leave, he doesn't get another contract. Dalman doesn't get another contract. Then we might have a guy that could play left guard or something like that if he just continues to get groomed and coached, up to play a different position, because that's the only thing that he can really do. You know what I mean to me? So, yeah.
Yeah, because he's been used sporadically throughout the training camp season. I think he was injured when you were at Soldier too, right? Oh, you muted for a second.
I don't even remember him being on the field at all. Ozzy had a great play. He had a bad play. He got bull rushed by Booker, but Caleb spent out and went the other way. People say it was a sack. I don't think that was a sack. I think he almost fell on his face trying to get Caleb. And he told me, he pulled up. I said, nah, I think Caleb put that foot in that ground and spun around and went out the other way. And it was a situation where I saw Ozzy, and if you go on our podcast page, well, our Twitter page, Ozzy was pretty much moving his feet the way we want to see him move his feet as a left tackle, backing up, chopping his feet, slinging the defender around to the left, and he brought the defender all the way back down to the right side, then stepped back, then locked in. It was a great play by Ozzy because there was nobody open in the end zone. So for him to hold his man that long without having a holding penalty with moving his feet, that was very impressive to see from Ozzy Trapilo. And if you're not doing that, and he's putting that on film right now, and we're waiting on Kiran to put something on film like that, bro, it's not possible. You know what I mean, Terry? It's going to be hard.
Yeah, I think quite honestly, in order for them to, because you spent the 3rd round draft pick on him, so you're going to have to try to salvage his career in some aspect. Meaning, like you guys mentioned before, you have to work his way down the line. If he can't play left tackle, can he play left guard or center? Because I'm telling you, if a 3rd round, you know how many great players we overlooked in the 3rd round?
Yes.
That you have to utilize everything you can. You're gonna have to get your money's worth out of him. They want that return on investment, and he's aware of that, and that's why I think he's going to benefit from this coaching change. But he's going to have to. The best availability is what? Best ability is what?
Availability, yes.
You got to be available.
Because Ozzy put on some crazy tape for Family Fest, and me and my guys broke it all down on the clips I made. Ozzy feet move, man. For a guy that tall, his feet move. His feet move. His arms lock. They unlock. You know what I mean? He's kind of hard to get around. Like, you're going to have to be an athlete to beat Ozzy to get to Caleb. You're going to have to just be this dog. And Booker got him one time, got up under his pads, and he went up under there, and he got by. He blew him by him. But for the whole practice, heck no. Wasn't nobody getting it. No. Ozzy was
what you like to hear.
Yeah, he wasn't letting nobody get to Caleb, bro, like at all.
All right. Yeah, so since we've kind of transitioned over to Ozzy Trapilo, let's start off with his most promising attributes that make him a strong contender for this position. We'll start with you, Terry.
Yeah, I'm an ACC guy. I've been covering the ACC for a long time, and by him being at Boston College, I watched him play against my Seminoles. And Boston College historically has produced a lot of offensive linemen, and it didn't drop off with him. He can run, block, pass, block, move his feet. Because I'll have to be honest with you, it's the coaching that started with him at Boston College. The coaches that he had for Boston College did a tremendous job with this young man. And so, I mean, there are going to be weaknesses and stuff that he has to get adjusted to in the NFL. But it's not going to be a huge drop-off, quite honestly, because this young man is huge. And one of the good thing that a lot of people don't know about, he played left tackle and right tackle at Boston College. So if you needed to move him to another position, he won't feel uncomfortable. He wouldn't be a fish out of water.
Yeah, and obviously him playing both tackle positions only benefits his chance for making the roster at the end of the day.
Right.
But yeah, so what do you think, Kumar, in terms of his attributes there? What stands out for you with Trapilo?
I mean, like Terry said, Ozzy Trapilo at Boston College Boston College historically in the past has produced some very good offensive linemen. And when you really look at like Boston College's system, Bill O'Brien, he really did not have much of, if any, of like a good quarterback. So they relied a lot on that run game, and he was pretty good. And I think that he has that flexibility throughout all the offensive line um, to you know to play any position on the line. And I also think that when you look at Kiran, who played at Yale, when you look at Braxton, I think he played at FSU or Florida Atlantic, one of those smaller colleges. The level of competition that these guys have, Ozzy has probably the best level of competition. And he has went up against, those Florida State guys, all the guys in the ACC. So he knows, hey, this is how I have to go against top talent, and he has that experience necessary. So I'm really, really curious to see, hey, can he put it together? I mean, he has that physical attributes. He's big. He can withstand that bull rush. Can he put it together? Because as you guys said before, this is a second round guy. We put of a lot of capital in him. So it has to work out just like Kieran. So I'm curious to see what we do. And I think he can win it, but we'll see.
Okay. All right. I know you've probably seen the most of him live out of any of us, Guy. What do you think?
Man, look here. Like when you watching a player and you forget that they're on the field for as many, you're like, oh yeah, I'm supposed to be watching him. That's because they're doing a good ass job. He's just doing a good job because just like, you know what, I'm not really worried about Caleb getting sacked. And why is that? Because the guy protecting him is not getting called for, penalties, holding. It was really like none of that. So, and then there was one particular play where Manungai ran a touchdown in, and you was like, where the hell is Manungai? Ozzy Trapilo was so big, bro. I think Manungai was walking underneath him to get inside that end zone, bro. Because when it came out, you just saw Ozzy. Then you saw Manungai like Ozzy's strong and powerful. As it was crazy to see that type of power because they were stuffed at the 2 or the 1. So between Manungai and Ozzy pushing the power, it was a touchdown, bro. And I was like, whoa. Because it was like the whole team was in like a, you know what I mean? Like all together, like just stuck to each other. Then it was like a second push, and like Ozzy and Manungai just got that touchdown. I said, damn. That's a strong, tall, 6'8" dude right there. Because
in
that way, y'all got stuck on the 2, and you end up in the end zone. And I see Manungai come from underneath you. Then I was like, yo, so Ozzy, man, he has some power. It is no joke. It is no joke.
They know how to breed. They know how to breed them in Boston College. And the thing about it too, I don't mean to cut you off.
No, you good.
Braxton Jones went to Utah State, And but one of the things about also with Ozzy is that he played at Boston College, so he's already used to the weather.
Right.
It gets cold in Boston too. It may not get it. Well, it's very similar to Chicago, but they don't get that lake wind. But he's one of those lunch pail type of dudes where it may be 40 below, but he's out there blocking. He's like, I'm okay, I'm fine.
Right.
You know? And that's what you want from the left tackle.
All right.
Polar bear, man.
Yeah, I get that. Now, moving away just from the individual players, I want to address this question specifically to you, Terry, because I know you've been around the horn a bit. Outside of individual performance, how important is the chemistry and the cohesion between the left tackle and the rest of the offensive line, namely the left guard and the center?
Well, it's very important because, quote unquote, we all know that the center has a very responsible job, but the left tackle is like the brains too. You know, you got to be able to call out blitzes. You got to be able to do all these different things, see who's coming and who's not coming. So if the left tackle fails, that reflects a lot, because now the left guard has got to make up some slack, and then you got to pull from the tight end to help out. And you don't really want your tight end to be an extra blocker for you. How beautiful would it be if your left tackle can hold his own, and then you got a tight end that can roam free. Right. And in our case, we got two great tight ends. You know what I mean? I know one hasn't, actually played an NFL down, but just looking at his makeup and what he's capable of doing, that's wonderful. So if the left tackle is not right, just like riding a bike, if your pedals is not working, hang it up.
Right. Bike ain't gonna move. Right.
Yeah.
All right. Well said. So, and this is to everyone here, beyond the individual talent, what do you think the foundational principles, or more so the non-negotiables, that the coaching staff is looking to prioritize from these players to ultimately secure the position?
Don't hear my quarterback.
You got to say that one more time.
So outside of just their individual talent, what kind of foundational principles, or what you might consider non-negotiables, from the coaching staff and what they're prioritizing in terms of selecting this left tackle?
Don't hit my quarterback. Don't let it be you. Don't let the guy get to your guy. That's it. Because ain't nothing really else to talk about. Your job is to mainly protect Caleb Williams. His front side, his front, his right. And his, you know what I mean? So that's it. That's really just it.
In the words of late great Bernie Mac, all you do is spin records. That's all you do. All you do is block and don't let our quarterback get hit.
That's it.
That's all you do.
Mm-hmm. So, go ahead, Kumar. Looks like you got something to say there, buddy.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's kind of Justin Jenkins was drafted by the Bears in 2021. He said, "Ain't nobody touching Justin Fields," and it's like, hey, if you touch my quarterback, yeah, you're done. And I think I want to put out someone that has that. Like, we kind of saw that even last year, in years past, that if Caleb gets hit this year, which is going to happen, who's going to be that guy to be like, go in and be like, hey, you ain't touching Caleb. I don't care. He's my guy. And who's going to be the guy to go and fight for Caleb? That's kind of what we need. We're kind of back in years past. And I don't know like which one of these guys are going to step up and be that guy. And also, it's, hey, can you learn Ben Johnson's system? Can you adapt to Ben Johnson's system? Can you be that guy? So going back to Ozzy, I did a video on him. He won the Player of the Year against North Carolina, and he helped the Boston College have 200-yard games. And I think that he really has a dog in him, right? That was some, like, if you've seen like videos, he will push you to the ground. And that's kind of what I want to see in a left tackle. Someone that's going to say, hey, nobody's touching Caleb, and he's going to push a defender to the ground. I want that physicality because we've lacked that in years past.
Okay. No, well said. Now we have J2K with a question here, and he goes, if Braxton becomes the backup, would you trade him, and what would you realistically get for him?
A bag of flaming hots.
Yeah. And you know what? If he becomes a backup, maybe that's what that was his ceiling.
Right.
But you need to keep him. You know, because how confident are you in Kiran? So at least you know what Braxton, you can kind of, maneuver. And I know you drafted Kiran in the 3rd round, but if he becomes the backup, that just lets you know that, I mean, sometimes it happens. There's people that out there that are better than you, even though you have seniority. So if Ozzy is that better player, it's just that's football. Because look, they said the same thing to Lance Stevenson. Right. Yeah, you was a starter last year. I mean, not Lance Stevenson, but the cornerback Stevenson.
Oh, Tariq.
Yeah,
Tariq Stevens. Yeah, Tyreek. They said that to him this year. Your job is not safe as a starter.
Yep.
So.
Yep. Yeah. And I agree with you. Terry. It's like, just if he becomes the backup, he becomes the backup. But at the same time, he's played more games. And once they get comfortable knowing what he is and what he isn't, they're going to have to make a decision are they going to pay him. And if based off his last position was a starting left tackle, he's going to want starting left tackle money. It's business. Yeah. So guess what? You're not getting that. You're not getting nowhere near starting left tackle money, like, at all. So it's a whole thing with Braxton, man. If he become the backup after this year, that's fine. But him getting paid and staying, I don't see it. Like, I just don't see it.
Not at all. If he becomes a backup, this will probably be his last year with Chicago.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think if you end up looking at it from that perspective, in terms of this is his last year, he's going to need to get paid. You may be forced to trade him, probably not right away, but probably closer or at the trade deadline, or risk losing him to free agency. And then you don't know what you're going to get. You could get nothing out of it. You can get a comp pick, of course, but then again, if you're spending money, you could easily lose that comp pick too. So you got to be willing to, you got to be willing to take the risk of trading him now and getting something for him, or maybe getting nothing at all. Now,
I agree, and he was a 5th round draft pick. So if we can get a 4th or another 5th round for him, hey, that's just an even swap, I guess.
Exactly.
Yeah. So, we'll see, I guess.
Exactly. Yeah. So a bit of an interesting thought here. What happens if there is no clear starter emerging at the end of preseason? What do you think the contingency plan is from the coaching staff heading into week 1?
That's $1 million question. That's a great question.
It's going to come down to who we're playing week 1. Who's the best against a blind Flores defense? Who likes to blitz? There's your answer. Who's ever the best at doing this against this defense will get the start. That's how it should be. And if it's Ozzy, if it's Braxton, if it's Kiran, then it will be. So I think they're going to basically, if it comes down to that, this is going to come down to the defensive matchup. So who will be somebody that Ozzy will be going against at the left tackle against the Minnesota Vikings? So, like, who? You got Verse and all them guys over there.
Well, you talking about for Minnesota?
Yeah, who y'all talking about preseason?
Oh no, I'm saying if we go through all of preseason, we play Buffalo, we play Miami, we play Kansas City, and none of the 3 are standing out in terms of I'm taking this job. What do you do?
Oh yeah, I think it comes down to just the matchup of who we lined up against on the other side come week 1. Like, you have to get that far into the details. You have to get that far into it, and whoever's the best at that particular thing, that's who's going to be the starter. That's the only way they're going to look at it.
Is it a left tackle by committee? I hope not, because that's one position you don't want to be unsure.
Yes,
so I'm praying and hoping that someone says, you know what, I'm the left tackle. You beat me out in order for you to get it. So I'm hoping that's what happened, and I think that's what the coaching staff. But if not, I wouldn't be surprised if they try to poach somebody from another team and try to just kind of add more twist to it. But then after that, it's kind of a waste of time. But the good thing about it, we have 3, right? Out of those 3, you're praying that one of them pans out to be, great. I mean, so we shall see. All sign points to Ozzy. Just hope that the young man, all of them, can stay healthy. Quite honestly.
Yeah. What do you think, Kumar?
Yeah. I mean, for me, if worst comes to worst, you're gonna probably have maybe a left tackle by committee. As much as we don't want that, hey, if you put in, maybe let's start Ozzy, or let's start Brax against the Vikings. He sucks. Let's pull him out. Let's put in Kiran. He sucks. Let's pull him out. Hey, we'll put in Ozzy, and you kind of have to roll the dice and hope and pray that one of these guys work in that case. Because I don't really know if we can make a trade this late into the season. Maybe mid-season trade deadline. Yeah, we can make a trade. But again, the rarity of offensive linemen getting traded in the season or in the preseason is like 1 to 2%. So we're gonna have to hope and pray that one of these guys comes forward and becomes the guy.
Okay.
Yeah. And there are going to be some cap cuts too. There are going to be some pretty decent left tackles or that or someone who can fill in the void that just because of money wise they can't stay on a certain team. So yeah, I know they're going to be looking at the wire the entire time like every other team is doing.
Yeah. So one of the things that we've seen from Ryan Poles is he's always been very forward in terms of his dealing with mental health issues. I think it was last year, the year before, he talked about that in pretty good detail. So I want to ask you guys to be a coach for a second here, and how would you manage the psychological aspect of this three-way competition to ensure all the players remain engaged and motivated, regardless of the eventual outcome?
Yeah, I think for me, it's all about get the buy-in versus commitment, right? So for me, I think that you let all three players know what time it is. Which they probably already know that they're in competition, but you let them know it's a competition, but you all remain as a unit. So as much as you go, we go. So you have to always preach that team thing. But most importantly, like it's always good to give these in any position mental health counseling as well. Because what happens when you suffer defeat and you're no longer the left tackle? How would you going to handle that as a person? So that needs to be addressed in the beginning because somebody's going to lose, right? Somebody's not going to be the left tackle, and how they handle that mentally because they're so used to playing is what's going to mess with their psyche. So as a coach and as a GM, one of the things that I would take in consideration is that everyone is going to be required to go through some type of counseling so that if you lose your position at any player on any team, on any of these teams, this is what you could do to kind of curtail some of this stuff to get better. So because it happens, you get a player that's used to being the top player in college and you come in and tell me now I have to compete and then all of a sudden I lost my job. How are you going to handle that? So
exactly.
Yeah. And just to piggyback on what Terry's saying, I would pretty much do that, and I would say just make players know, like, look, man, next man up, man. Anything can happen, injuries happen, so always be prepared to come in and step in. You never know what's going to happen with a player 1 week to the next week. So just to give that player that type of mental edge and that mental seed to plant in their head to always be ready, so you don't have to get ready because you don't know what's going to happen in the sport of football with injuries. That's the thing. Just always be ready. Just because you lost your spot now doesn't mean you're not going to get another opportunity to play. And also, if you don't get your spot back, remember, you always put stuff on film for another team to watch for you. So you always have something to look for and to work for, whether it's you to get back on the field on our team, but also you can put up good film for another team to come get you. And that's just the reality of the sport. And just keep it like that.
Okay.
Yeah, I can touch on this a little bit. I think
Sure.
that, for me, as someone that has struggled with like mental health issues in the past, if I were a coach, how would I approach this? I think just based on my own experience, like, right, hey, like, you know, making sure that players have access to somebody that you want to talk to. Whether that be a sports psychologist, a therapist, they can get that um counseling, whatever they need, honestly. And I think that yeah, it's hard. We've all maybe been there where, you get fired or laid off from a job and it sucks. It hurts. And just knowing that hey, something better is gonna come to me, I think they have the better have to like prioritize that and make sure that the player knows, hey, this just might not be my time. But maybe down the season, it might be like an injury, something might happen to where I'm going to start. And can I be ready? Can I go in and can I start? And I think that if you don't have your mind right, your body's not going to be right, and you're not going to be able to, be that guy if your mind's not right. The most important part, I think, when it comes to being an NFL player and being that guy, like, is your mind right? And I think that, yeah, mental health is extremely important.
Oh, very good. Now I know we have a game coming up on Sunday, or yeah, it's this Sunday's first game of the week. I can't even remember who we're playing.
The Dolphins.
It's Miami, right? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, the Dolphins.
Yeah.
And then we have a joint practice on Friday.
On Friday, yeah. Oh man, but since we have the game coming up, and I know we all are, stat heads at the end of the day, is there any sort of like advanced metrics that you guys look at that maybe would help you decide this battle? Is it like, do you watch PFF? Do you go on ESPN and look at like things like pressure rates? What are you guys looking at this week?
Me personally, I'm just looking at who's going to be there that they're going to choose to start. That's the thing, because a lot of the starters are not going to play. So I'm more intrigued about who they think is the next man up. And that'll let me know everything else going into every other metric. So when I see who's starting, then I'll dig into it a little bit more. But I can't put the cart before the, you know what I mean? And if I don't know who started. So I'll just wait to see what they start.
Yeah, hey guy, I definitely agree with you on that. You want to see some people may start, some starters is like
Right.
just like the Chargers did. They played some of their starters, but whoever comes out there and they're the second string, that lets you know that okay, we really kind of value this person,
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I'm anxious. I don't want to measure anybody right now, especially game one. You're gonna have mistakes, Game two is what I'm going to look at, because you should have learned from game one. There's going to be, and a lot of people fail to realize this. Yeah, everybody on that field has played a football game before, but there's a lot of people that's on that field that's never played a professional football, like and they're used to collegiate football or UFL or any of these other entities. So the first game, it's you kind of just to see what's out there, but that second game is where you expect more from them.
Okay.
Agreed.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, I can finish this, and I think I have to hop off.
Okay.
But or I can. It depends on how long we're gonna planning to go. But I mean, I think for me, kind of what I'm watching is, hey, can you be that guy? Like, can you protect Caleb? At the end of the day, it doesn't matter how pressure rates. It doesn't matter about all these kinds of jazz. It's, hey, can you protect Caleb? I think that's kind of the most important thing I'm going to be monitoring in these next few preseasons. And then, as we get to that fourth game, like, hey, maybe you can look up Caleb's completions and you can see, hey, these are Caleb's completions with Brax, with Ozzy, with Kiran, and then find kind of the best guy. It's kind of hard to like pinpoint that. Um, but I think down the line you can go into those nitty gritty pressure stats, all that kind of jazz. But right now, like, hey, can you protect Caleb? Can you withstand your power? Can you make sure that the defender doesn't hit the quarterback? Is what we're watching.
Okay. Yeah, so I think we can all pretty much agree what ultimately defines success here at this position is protecting Caleb Williams, right?
Yes, absolutely. 1,000%.
All right. So I know you got to head out here, Kumar. We're going about an hour, so we'll probably end it here in just a minute. Sunday, who's starting?
Quarterback, or what do you mean, quarterback?
Well, left tackle. That's what we're talking
Oh,
about.
left tackle? Oh, Ozzy for sure. It's Ozzy. It's not even doubt in my mind.
Yeah,
Big fella getting it, man. We're getting it. That's their 56 pick, high pick, second round pick. He's been doing good. Yeah, they're going to see him when the bullets really fly against another rookie or whoever's going to be out there, or starter. So This is very real for him, but Ozzy for me for sure.
Yeah, I think it's Ozzy too. And quite honestly, with Miami, they're in a rebuilding. They're doing all kind of stuff down there. So Miami may play their starters because they're in the unknown as well. Like they've lost a few players, so they may play their starters just for a small bit. It won't be much, but I think it's going to be Ozzy.
Yeah, I think it'll be Ozzy as well. Maybe just maybe it'll be Brax, but I think if I had to put money on it, probably Ozzy. Just the way that, hey, we have a second round pick on this guy. We have a lot of capital. Can he be that dude? I think it'll be Ozzy.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, you said that Miami might play their stars. I kind of hope so, Terry, because I do want to see Chop Robinson line up against Ozzy Trapilo and just see how he does.
He's definitely playing.
Good. I'm looking forward to it. Last question, guys, and then we'll wrap it up. How long do you think they're going to keep whoever starts the game out there?
Yeah, so that's a good question. So I think because he's if they have Ozzy and he's doing exceptionally well, let's say that they'll probably keep him there for maybe the first quarter, and then he's going to be out for the rest of the because especially if he's doing great, you've seen enough. You don't need to see anything else. You know, if he's out there holding his own and he's handling it, all right, we've seen enough from you. Let's see what. All right, Kiran, you're up, or Braxton, you're up. You know, or whoever else. I don't even know who else they have at left tackle that we have. You know, so if there's another person at left tackle, because you know sometimes you definitely have to give all kind of players different tryouts. So we may have another left tackle that we're not talking about that may unfold.
Yeah, because there are two other guys you'll probably see. Because I don't know if Karan's going to play. It depends on, you know, how he is this week in terms of his leg injury. I don't know if you guys heard anything on it. I just heard it was a leg injury. I don't know if it's quad again or what. But the other two guys that maybe would pick up time at left tackle would be Joshua Miles and Theo Bennett.
And Theo, I'm quite sure Theo will get some time because he's a fan favorite, right? Favorite for a lot of folks. Didn't he come from like Canada or Australia?
The Canadian Eagle.
Yeah. So,
Right.
so he may. I wouldn't be surprised to see him get some run. Everybody loves him, you know. He did his thing when we had the what was it we had in last year we were playing? We were shown on HBO.
Hard Knocks.
Hard Knocks. So yeah, they'll give him a shot.
All right. Yeah. So you know what? As I said, we're going about an hour here, so I think we pretty much had a good medley of different, you know, conversations tonight. So I want to thank you guys, you know, for coming out and doing this with me. It was a lot of fun.
No problem, bro. Anytime.
Yeah.
So let's just go around.
Having me on.
I'm sorry, Kumar.
I said I want to thank you, Guy, and Terry for letting me speak today.
Yeah, man. Anytime. Anything? I know you got to head out. Is there anything else you want to add before you go?
No, not really. I'll head out right now. But thank you.
Okay. Yeah, man. I'll be in touch. So go do your thing.
All right. Peace.
All right, later, man. All right, guys. Same question. Any parting thoughts before we head out?
My only parting thoughts is just that, you know, let Caleb be Caleb, man. Let him have his lumps and bumps, man. Just let these guys learn what they need to learn. You know what I mean? Like, a lot of fans overreact to things. It's not even week one. I mean, we have a long road to go and for us to win. Like, we building a culture. That's the first step. You have to build the building blocks and build the foundation. You have to build this from the ground up. So we're seeing things coming up from a ground up time. You know what I mean? With a guy that's coming from a winning culture in Ben Johnson, and he's bringing a lot of guys that's played football. Antoine Randall, Al Harris, you know, Eric Benemy. You know what I mean? People like that. So I'm just saying to say this to Bears Nation. It's going to be a good season for us, but just be patient and let's see how the rookies do and what the starters do come week one. I mean, Sunday.
Exactly.
Yeah, and for me, like I didn't pay attention too much to a lot of what ESPN and the NFL Network and all of them were saying about the Bears, and I mean, there were mixed reviews from everyone because you don't know what's going to happen. You don't know what's going to transpire on the field. So what I did is I kind of tuned out a lot of the stuff because I'm really anxious to see what the Bears are going to produce. We have a really good team, and yeah, our division is great, but hey, we're great as well, you know. And so I think this is the year that Caleb he's had enough with them talking about he being drafted, and then the Commanders drafted
Jaden
Daniels, and then Bo Nix had his run in Denver. I think he's going to really solidify his first draft pick, and say, hey, all right, the Bears are here, and the Bears have arrived. I know they hang up on the 4,000-yard passing. We don't need that. We need to win. So if you get individual stats, that's great, but we need wins. And so I think that's what Ben Johnson is stressing right now. You're going to have to win because how you practice is how you play. Mm-hmm. And so we'll see what the Bears do. I'm excited about the season, and I can't wait for this game because I'm quite honestly, man, I'm tickled pink. I'll run to Chicago right now, and I live in Florida.
Yeah, man, it's going to be great to finally watch some Bears football. It's been a long time. Yeah, it's only been a couple of months, but it feels like forever, especially with everything that went on with Ben Johnson. We got him in. You know, the draft was, you know, successful.
Yeah.
No, minus maybe Zoff Frazier at the moment. We don't know what's going on with him, but, you know, we'll see. Now, SoBack Sports, I did see your question. about the outskirts of the 53. That's actually going to be a topic for another day. So hold on to that. And I'll reach out to you again because I think I'm going to do another live show, and I want to have you on to discuss that. So over there. But like I said, in terms of left tackle, this is Ozzy Trapilo's job to lose at this moment. I don't think there's any other way to say it. Braxton Jones, I mean, good luck. That's all I can say. Kiran, maybe start practicing at guard. I don't know what to tell you.
Right.
I mean, I don't think they're gonna, send him on his way and put him on an ice shelf because he was a third-round pick. You don't want to give up on that easily,
Right.
but he needs to show up and show out quickly this year.
I agree.
Okay, but yeah, we got Bears game on Sunday. Against Miami, so stay tuned for that. I'll definitely be giving you some coverage throughout the week regarding that. I won't be going to the joint practice, unfortunately, so nothing on that. And it does look like they're cracking down on people filming at Alice Hall. So I don't know if you guys seen any of the stuff going on with Just Another Year, Chicago, and all that.
Yeah.
Interesting stuff. But shameless plug time, guys. If you enjoyed the video or the podcast in this sense, smash the like button for me. If you subscribe, great. If you haven't, hit the subscribe button too so I can do some more of this stuff. If you like this kind of format, let me know in the comments if you're watching back on the replay. Make sure you give a shout out to my friend Terry Spain and my boy Guy Walker here. Check them out as well. You can see Terry Spain over on Sports First Media. You're over on, I know you have a small YouTube channel here. You do a lot of stuff over on Instagram, right?
Yeah, Instagram, and then I'm all over the place. You already know that, but YouTube is what I'm pushing a lot more of, so I'm excited about that as well. But most of my stuff is Instagram, and then on some of our local networks here, ABC and things of that nature too.
All right, we got to get you over on Twitter one day so you can join the fun with us over there too, man. Yeah, so I mean, and then of course, Guy Walker, CNG podcast, man, go there.
Yeah, man. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, man, you're always doing Twitter Spaces and whatnot, so you can find us over there. I know you got a good YouTube following going.
Yeah,
so
man.
Check them out as well.
Yeah, we have a lot of fun over there on Twitter, man. But yeah, you can follow CNG Podcast along with me, G Walker, and my partners on Alan and CJ on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and X, man. So holla at us, subscribe, follow. You know what I mean? Like, hit us up, man.
Oh yeah,
bear down.
Bear down for sure.
All right, guys. Yeah, so bear down. Next video in the works is going to be on Nashawn White. Just to give you guys a little bit heads up who this guy actually is, because he's turning heads at camp. So be ready for that.
Yes, he is.
And as always, like I said at the end of my videos, bear down.
Bear down, baby. Peace.